What is going on, GFCW family? It is 6:30. We're going to jump into it. Welcome, everyone. I am Dr. Ryan Hyde. My wife, Dr. Haley Axberg, and I, we own and operate Glacier Family Chiropractic and Wellness. And today, every Tuesday, 6:30, we're doing our weekly wellness workshops where we just try to help everyone out, give our knowledge out, give the truth about chiropractic out to our patients, their friends and family. Just anyone that's willing to listen. So tonight we got a kind of a fun topic tonight. We're going to be talking about trying to save your spine while doing all the crazy rapping that we're going to be doing here in the next coming weeks. I did just want to say, for those of you that joined us last week, Dr. Haley had went over managing stress during the holiday season. Very, very important. She gave us some really, really cool tips and everything like that, just to help mitigate everything that's going on through the holidays. Yes, it is such a joyous and happy and loving time, but with that does come the downfalls of some of the tough stuff we need to do. We're around a lot of family. We have to go get gifts. So there are some things during the time frame that can be pretty stressful during the holidays. She gave us some great tips last week to help mitigate that and really just help ourselves going forward. If you weren't able to join us last week, we do post all of our classes to our YouTube channel, so feel free to watch them at your leisure. But today, like I said, today's going to be a little bit more fun. Today, we're going to be talking about saving your spine while you're wrapping for your gifts. And I got a pretty cool story that I'd like to start out with. This is something that I still to this day do for Dr. Haley. I plan to do for my kids. It was something that it really, really hit home for me when I was a kid. So around the holiday season, my family, I have two younger sisters. We decorated our tree as a family, and my sister and I, we would put our gifts to each other underneath the tree. So, on a typical Christmas Eve, we were going to bed with there weren't really too many gifts under the tree. Go to bed, we wake up the next morning, we're all excited, the three of us are standing over the balcony looking down, and I always remember looking down into our living room, and it was like a whole new world. There were presents galore, and it was astounding to me, and oh my gosh, Santa came, and you're just so happy, and you're cloud nine. It was awesome. Now, I bring this up because now that I'm where I'm at, I'm an adult, I'm a chiropractor, Dr. Haley and I are thinking and getting ready to start having a family of our own soon. I think about my poor parents. Oh my goodness. They never had any of our gifts under the tree. They would spend hours and hours, Christmas Eve, tucked away in their room after we went to sleep. Just cutting and wrapping and cutting and wrapping for hours just to make our next morning such an experience. And clearly they succeeded, because it is something that I still to this day remember. I will always remember. And it's something that I want to continue to do for my family. I know the joy that it brought me, and I want to keep that going on. So I bring this up because, again, I'm a chiropractor now, right? All I can think about is my poor parents hunched over, terrible posture for hours and hours, just wrapping gifts, right? So today I want to go over a couple little strategies to help combat that. I still want all you parents to make sure that your kiddos, your grandkids, whoever it may be, gets the most amazing experience. But I don't want it to cost you your spine. That's the big thing. There's ways to do this where we can protect your spine and you can still be able to do all the loving and caring things that you want to do. That's why we do what we do, is we can help you continue to do those things. That's the bottom line. So, number one on the docket tonight. It's going to be the first one. It's going to be blatantly obvious. Don't sit on the floor. Okay? When we sit on the floor, I'm assuming people have their gifts in front of them, they're crisscross applesauce, their legs are straight out, and they're hunched over and they're looking down, right? Now, if you've been into Dr. Haley's or my office before, you know we talk about tech neck. Tech neck, tech neck, tech neck, tech neck. It is something we are constantly talking about because this day and age, it is a serious problem that leads to so much more trauma down the line. So you're always hearing Dr. Haley and I talk about tech neck, tech neck, tech neck. That's why I'm saying do not sit on the floor while you're trying to do this happy and joyous thing for your friends and family. When we tend to have good posture, our head sits flush on our body, it's about 10 to 12 pounds. And that's what it's meant to be. I like to talk to our patients about these muscles right at the base of our skull. If you take your fingers, follow it down your skull, you're gonna feel where it kind of drops off a little bit, right? Right in that area is a group of muscles that we call the suboccipital muscles. Why? They sit right below your occiput and they're right underneath it, subocciput. Now, the purpose of these muscles right here are that when your head is on its proper position, these muscles help you look around, right? You look down, to the left, right, and up, okay? The problem that a lot of Americans face now is that we sit like this, right? So you're looking at your phone all day, and now my head is down, right? Now this does a multitude of different things. One, most significant, it adds about 50 extra pounds of force to this musculature right here, to the cervical spine, as you're just looking down like this. So we go from 10 to 12, boom, 50 to 60 extra pound. Now what is that doing to those muscles right there that are not meant to hold our head up like this? They're meant to help us look around, right? That's just weakening everything in that area. We're overexerting. Now it doesn't feel as good to sit like this anymore. It feels better to be like this. So that's why I say, don't sit on the floor, all right? When we get to this next tip right here, it's gonna be how to combat that. Why shouldn't I sit on the floor? Well, get yourself a little craft station. Now, for the moms and everyone out there, that might be something very enjoyable for you to do. Myself, yes, I love being creative. Am I gonna go build a little Christmas wrapping workstation? Probably not. But what we can do is we can sit at the table, right? We can sit on the floor, but have a level workplace in front of us that's even with our head. Now we're not looking down. We're able to sit like this, keep our shoulders back, our heads up, and we're still able to see and do everything right on the table right there. That's gonna take away so much of that lower back frustration, that tension right here through the shoulder blades, because we're not sitting like this anymore, right? The other day, I saw this really cool TikTok, now that TikTok apparently is the new age thing now. And it was a mother, talking about how she would rent a hotel for a day. So she would go in around noon, she'd spend the night, and then she'd leave around 11, 12 in the afternoon the next day. And it was cool to see because she took all of her gifts, right? All her presents for all her friends, all her families. She brings them to the hotel. She's by herself. She has her privacy. She may or may not, been sipping a little wine, watching her favorite shows, and doing things at her pace, okay? That's the big thing with this whole wrapping station. You want to do it somewhere where it's enjoyable for you, right? You shouldn't be done and, oh, I'm so sore. That was so much to do. It takes away from the whole experience, right? Now, I'm not saying, should you go and rent a hotel room? No, I'm not. But it's creative and cool ideas like this that we need to try to continue to think of in order to help our spine, which in turn is going to help our nervous system, okay? So like I said, that mother would bring all of her gifts and she could do everything at her own pace. This leads us right into tip number 3. Please, please, please do not wrap all of your gifts at once, right? Again, I take you back to the story I told you about my parents. I mean, hours. They get us down to bed after a long day, and then they have to go sit in there for hours wrapping presents. Nobody wants to do that at the end of a long day. That's why it was a cool idea, I thought, when the mother went to the hotel. She could do everything at her pace. So, I have to assume, unless we're the ones that wait till the last minute, the procrastinators here, and get all of our gifts within that last week, right? Then, try to be as best you can, wrap them in succession. So do a couple here, do a couple there, do a couple then before the big day. But for the rest of us, we're not buying all of our gifts at one big bulk load time, right? Some come in from Amazon. We go down to the Murdochs and we get a couple gifts there. Wrap the gifts when you get home, all right? It's going to save you so much time, procrastination, and the effort too. You're already in that good spirit of giving and having fun with it. Why not just wrap the gifts right then and there, right? So, like I said, we don't buy them all at once. Let's not wrap them all at once, okay? Let's wrap them in time at our own pace. Now, I know this fourth tip right here, I might catch a little heat from it, but what's wrong with using bags, all right? Okay? So now maybe I'm just speaking for the men, and maybe for myself when I was a kid, but I'll be honest, didn't really care about the wrapping, let's be honest. Who was it from and what the heck was inside, right? Nobody cares about the wrapping. Now, I understand that's a heated topic right there. I understand. I know Dr. Haley herself loves getting all cute and nice wrapping paper and trying to make the gifts look very, very beautiful. I get that, and that's totally understandable. But again, if you're shopping for a little boy or, even the girls nowadays, I know myself speaking as a grown man, tissue paper, you get to reuse the bag too, right? So the kids aren't just destroying the wrapping paper. Now, hey, I'll take the bag back. Now we're helping you save your spine. You're reusing bags. At this day and age, wrapping paper is probably just as expensive as toilet paper. So we're saving your wallets too, all right? So just to kind of, all seriousness aside, just to kind of recap, things that we definitely want to try to do. So let's stay away from sitting on the floor, okay? That's just going to enable us to have a worse posture. It's going to kind of allow our body to get into that dis-ease portion, okay? We can make a wrapping station. Make it a wrapping station. Do it at the kitchen table. Make it fun, Have your kids help wrap the gifts that are for the other ones. Get them involved. Now you're wrapping less gifts right there, right? We said don't wrap them all at once, okay? And that one is really what's going to save you right there, right? You buy the gift, just wrap it right then and there. Not to mention, then you don't have to worry about anybody sneaking a peek of it, okay? So we'll wrap them. We're not going to wrap them all at once. And then that last one, it's honestly my favorite. Just use the bags. They're reusable. They're easy. You put a little tissue paper on top. Bada bing, bada boom. You're good to go. The kid's happy. They got a good gift. You're happy because you get to reuse the bag. You saved a little bit of money. It's a win-win situation right there. Now, like I said, tonight's class was a little bit more fun. The holiday seasons are coming up. We're trying to spread some joy, have fun with things here, right? But I do want to leave you guys with some very tangible things that you can actually do, right? So I want to wrap this class up tonight with just 3 simple stretches. You can do them at the table while you're wrapping the gifts at your station. You can do them while you're seated on the floor. They're very easy to do. And honestly, they're good no matter what time of the year, no matter what time of the day. These are always going to be good for your spine, for your body, for your mentality. So the first one that I want to do is it's called neck retraction. It's the basic name for it. The way we tell our patients to do it is we just take 2 fingers right to the chin and we just push back a little bit. And everyone's a little bit different, but you'll feel when you hit resistance, okay? And you just want to go to there. Now, what we recommend when you're in that position is now you just start looking around. And like even right now, I can feel a stretch down through here, right? So I'll hold that for a little bit. and then maybe I'll just look straight up, and then I'll work my way to the right. And as I'm doing this stretch, I can feel everything right in that top neck area, okay? So that's gonna be a good, helpful one to help with those suboccipital muscles we talked about earlier. It's gonna help with that text neck. It's gonna help, get our muscles back from if we're looking down like this, okay? So the next one, that was neck retraction. The next one is called a seated figure four. You can also do this one laying down. Today, I'm gonna show you how to do it seated. It's a little bit easier to get into. You're not going up and down off the floor. If you're sitting at the table wrapping the gifts, you can just do it right there, which is pretty cool. You don't even have to move for anything. So the way this one works right here, and I hope everyone can see me right here. So you can see I'm just sitting down normal. We're gonna keep your back straight, chest out, shoulders back. And then whatever leg you wanna start with, I'm gonna start with my right one. I'm just gonna cross it over, right? And we're gonna start like we're just crossing our legs over. What I'm gonna do with my left hand is put it on my right ankle. And I'm gonna take my right hand and put it on my right knee. And I'm gonna be pushing with this right hand, and I'm gonna be pulling with the left hand. And what you're gonna feel is a very good stretch right down through here, okay? It's gonna get the piriformis muscles down into the hammies. The big one is that piriformis. I know if you're in our office, you hear us talk about piriformis syndrome all the time when it relates to sciatica type stuff. These are one of the stretches we most strongly recommend to those patients with sciatica, the lower back pain and stuff like that, because it helps loosen up that entire area. Now, obviously, I just showed you the right side, but you're gonna wanna do it to both sides as well. With these stretches that we're going over too, you always want to go by your tolerance. If it's painful, you need to back up a little bit. You've gone too far. And you never want to hold it for too long, right? Too much of anything is too bad, just like too little of anything is too bad. So what we recommend is we do 2 or 3 sets. So you would do that stretch 2 or 3 times with your right leg. Hold it for about 10 to 20 seconds, 10 if you're just starting out. Get that 10 seconds in, but make sure it's not, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, very calm, very collect. And then you start working your way up into the 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, okay? But it's all about starting where you need to, okay? So it's your tolerance. So we did the neck retraction, right? 2 fingers, push back till we feel resistance. Hold that for a little bit, and then I can start working around, okay? Second one, seated figure four. Leg goes over the other. One hand on the ankle, pulling. One hand on the knee, pushing. And again, you feel that stretch down the back of your leg, kind of into the buttocks area. The third and final one. I honestly don't know what they call this one, so I made a cool little name up. Behind the back wrapping paper chest stretch. I know it's a mouthful, but it is what it is. So with this one, you're gonna find anything decently long and somewhat stable. So a broom, we're talking about wrapping today, so hence I went with the wrapping paper today. But this one, you're gonna wanna start with the wrapping paper behind your back, palms up, shoulder width apart. And everyone's gonna start at different spaces with this, but you just want to go up, very slow, very controlled, as high as you can, bring it back down. Just like that, okay? Now what that's gonna do, it's gonna help open up, again, our chest area. We're having our hands behind our back. It's already helping us have our chest out. When we bring it up like that, helps open up these pec tendons that come up and through here and attach. This is where people get very, very tight and you start noticing rounded shoulders and kind of hunched over like that. It's because these muscles are so tight. So we want to stretch those out. Big chest, really accentuate it out. And then it's just those little lift ups. And again, not everyone's going to be able to start going all the way up. Some people can just, and that's okay. It's all about where you're starting from. Everyone has their own starting point on this health journey of theirs, okay? We're just here to help facilitate and help encourage you along the way. So, finally, we have the neck retraction, the number one. Number 2 was the seated figure 4 stretch. And thirdly, we had the wrapping paper chest stretch. We'll condense that one a little bit more for y'all. So those are the 3. And again, I highly, highly, highly recommend all those stretches every day. Try them out. They're not just meant for wrapping paper, okay? You know, when you're wrapping your gifts for the kids. No, these are stretches that will benefit you on a daily basis, which is why we present them to you. And that's why we do these weekly wellness workshop classes. It is to empower you, to help you, to encourage you. And that's exactly what we're here to do, okay? So I want to thank you all for jumping on tonight. It was honestly one of the funner classes today. I had a blast with it. I know next week, Dr. Haley will be going over finding more joy in life. I know, speaking for myself personally, that's something I could definitely use. I know a lot of us, it's easy to think about the negative thoughts. I know she gave us a statistic. I think it was like the 90% of thoughts we think are the bad thoughts, when in reality, we have so much more positive and good experiences throughout the day. That's what we need to be focusing on. I'm not going to steal her class. She's going to go over all that stuff with you guys next week. We will be here same time, same place, just with Dr. Haley. I hope you all have a great night, and we will see you later.